Hello and welcome to Trendz Live on SABC News Channel 404 and Happy Youth Day, Mzansi. What a time to be young, gifted and black. My name is Nkosazana Dambuza and today on the show we bring you all things art, culture and travel. So let's get right into it. 5FM launched an online pop-up station on their new app. This platform called 5 Extra is there to provide the latest content in addition to what already airs on their frequency. Content galore, right? This platform kicked off this Youth Month with the intention to give young people under the age of 25 an opportunity to showcase their creativity. In this next feature, we join the Drive Time radio host Nick Hammond alongside two young campus radio hosts that are showing off their on-air talents through this platform. Let's take a look.
5FM has something new in the pipelines, a whole new online pop-up station that's definitely set up for the youth. That's how it's kicking off this month, so you want to check out what this platform has. We were like, we are going to come through and check out what 5FM is up to, and we know that you have now launched something called the 5 app. Tell us a bit about that and what you guys are doing on 5 Extra.
As 5FM, we're always looking for different ways to innovate, and we obviously realized that as a radio station, we've been able to speak to the entire country because we broadcast from Limpopo down to Cape Town. But there is this thing that people are using to get information outside of us, cell phones, apps, online, different things like that. And we thought, we've got a bit of a responsibility to also be playing in these spaces. So we built the 5FM app, which is basically like another portal to brand 5FM. So 5 Extra is a space that you can only access exclusively through the 5FM app. And what it is a content platform that every month is going to look a little bit different. But it's essentially another way of consuming what we're giving you on air, just going that 5 layers deep. So because it's Youth Month, we're being youth focused, unapologetically. We're putting young, talented, inspired South Africans on the radio, but that's not all. We're also saying to young DJs under the age of 25, send us your mixes. We want to play them on the air. Young producers, young people that are creating art and doing anything that's exciting that needs amplification, we're giving it to them. And we realized that being Youth Month, we really wanted to give an opportunity to get young voices onto the station, even younger than we already have on air. So we went out to the campuses, we said, give us some of your best talent. And that's what they've done. And the hope is that young people are going to see themselves championed by these voices and are going to be excited by that. Because especially in a month like Youth Month, I think we're done talking about what we should do. It's time to actually do stuff now. So this is that. This is 5 saying, we're a national station. We've got access to millions of people all around the country. We're going to give that to the next generation.
I am currently part of Tax FM, which is an on-campus radio station, and they basically gave us this opportunity. They're like, guys, listen, 5 is doing this amazing, awesome, thing. Come through if you want to be part of it. And I was like, of course, let's go. And I applied for it, and here we are.
I've always kind of had an interest, but I never really knew how to pursue it. It was one of those things that you always hear. It's like at the back of your voice. Every Sunday morning when mom is cleaning up, radio's playing. So it's something that I really felt like doing.
So with all the talent that you've seen come through from all the campus radio stations, how does the future of radio look like for South Africa?
It's exciting. I think for me, in the last 10 years, in the time that I've been in radio, we have as an industry seen ourselves needing to battle against a lot more competitors than were in the space 10 years before that. Because 10 years ago, there wasn't necessarily the opportunity for someone to start their own podcast or to launch their own TikTok channel, their own YouTube channel, their own Instagram channel. Now there is, and all these people get to have voices. And a lot of people might look at that and go, that's intimidating. I look at that and go, that's exciting. Because I think we live in a country where there are innumerable different points of view and perceptions and opinions. And the best way that we're going to get content that people are actually excited by is just throw that all into the soup of it. And so with something like this, we're now creating that space where more voices can come to the party. And what we're seeing with these young people is that they're also old school radio minds. Like, they're not just here to be famous, they're here because they want to connect with real South Africans.
I think the rush of it being live is much more exciting for me. Like knowing that even if you make a mistake, it's happening right now. There's no sort of editing, cut, rewind, do over. I love that because it keeps you sharp. it makes you want to do it right. It makes you want to practice more and end up being really good at it. The podcast thing, I feel like I'm still going to do eventually, but for now, I just like the rush of radio and having like the knowledge that you're doing it right now.
For me, I would like to talk about the initiative that I'm actually doing myself this week on one of my shows. Is basically getting young people to come in and talk about their careers and how far they've gone in their careers currently as being a youth in South Africa, because it's very difficult. Like I always like to say, my mom always likes to tell me, yo, when I was your age, I was already at the house, I had my own house, and I'm like, girl, listen, it's a different time. We are fighting economic climate that is on another level, so bear with us.
All of these young students, young people that we've engaged with, that I've had the opportunity to meet, speak to the fact that the industry is in a healthy place, radio is in a good space, and the country, I think, is going to continue to have good content.
What? 5 of them? Are you kidding me? So then, found out that I had to record a full 3-hour show, and it was amazing to do. I had to come up with my own segments, my own ideas, topics, etc. And then, the opportunity itself is so massive because it's something that is never before seen. What station gives a platform to young presenters who are trying to break into the industry to showcase their talent? So it's a huge honor to be selected, and even greater honor to be a part of it.
I definitely love my degree, but I think I love radio more. Like, I found a passion for radio at Tux FM, and I definitely do believe that I will be going into radio. I'll definitely be going commercial.
I think through this initiative and through being empowered enough to have a platform, it's about learning how to execute certain skills I didn't know I had, and engaging with people in a different way. So it's been a lot of fun, and I hope to learn more.
We can't wait to see what more you guys are going to be doing on the 5 Extra app, and thank you so much for speaking to us on Trendz Live.
Today marks exactly 47 years since the youth of 1976 took to the streets of Soweto protesting against the educational policies of the apartheid system. As part of the commemorations, we visited the Hector Peterson Museum in Orlando West, Soweto, just a few kilometers from where Peterson was killed. The museum covers the events of the anti-apartheid Soweto uprising.
Hector Peterson was the youngest person to be shot and killed on the 16th of June 1976. Now, this museum here was named after him and built close to where he died. They have documented accounts of events that happened on that day and days after that.
Police shot about 21 students that died here in Soweto. So we have a funeral room where we capture some of the pictures of the day of the funeral, which is 21 students that died on the 16th of June 1976. So this side we have about 577 red stones of young people, adults, even kids that died during Soweto uprising. So this 577 starts from the 16th of June 1976 up until the 24th of February 1977. The last person that died, it was on the 24th of February 1977.
We were very fortunate to bump into Ms. Antoinette Sitole, who's seen on the famous Hector Peterson picture running beside Mbuyisa Makubo, carrying her little brother's lifeless body. She remembers the events as though they happened yesterday.
They were on their way, running towards me. I joined them, and as we continued running, I was asking this man, "Who are you? This is my brother. I've been looking for him. Where are you taking him?" The man just kept on running. Then I looked at my brother. I saw blood coming from the side of the mouth. I panicked. "Who are you? Can't you see my brother's head? Where are you taking him?" He never said anything. A car just stopped in front of us, and one lady jumped out of the car, introduces herself as a journalist, and said she can help us. As that man was about to put my brother in the car, he said, "Oh, he's dead."
The action committee formed by students planned and led the march that was supposed to have been peaceful until the apartheid police opened fire. The deputy chairperson of the committee, Seth Mazibuko, shed a tear as he remembered some of those events.
Just around Vilakazi Street and Moema Street, that corner, that is where the police started confronting us. But what was interesting was that they started first throwing tear gas canisters. They unleashed dogs. And then the third action was that they started acting, they started using live bullets. Now, that's the part that makes me all the time to cry. And because that's the time in which we started counting bodies. And yeah, that is still, I'm still not comfortable with that. We are still, yeah, it's still sitting with us, and I hope I'll be okay. But yeah, it's that, but it is healing at the moment when you then interact with young people who are doing positive things. All I can say to young people today is that please, we threw stones in 1976. It's not for them to throw stones now, but it is to be gathering stones and build themselves and build South Africa. I'm saying we used our blood, you know, to get where we are. Let them use their sweat to protect that. And that's my cry now, that the only thing that can heal us is to see young people gathering these stones and working hard to protect and promote and preserve the history and heritage of 1976.
One of the most anticipated festivals that celebrates the youth of Jozi, Basha Uhuru Freedom Festival, is back and is once again pulling through a fully rounded collective of creatives that are ready to show off their skills and immerse themselves into knowing more about the creative culture of South Africa's youth. We are now joined by the event executive, Bandile Fagude. Welcome to Trendz Live. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So the festival started in 2012. What transition can you say that you've noticed in the youth that partake in it?
Constitution Hill as a whole works with a lot of creative industry entrepreneurs. So we have been working with different kinds of people in the space who have actually grown to actually not only work on their own, but also participate in the Basha Uhuru activities, your creative week, and also performing on the Basha Uhuru stage. So it also, they grow into becoming one of our own. Yeah.
Right. Now, what can you say we can expect? Please break down the program for us.
The program will kickstart on the 21st. We'll kickstart with Creative Week. Creative Week will bring on creatives from all around the industry as a whole, where they'll sit and talk about and share ideas of their work, but also we'll focus as well on the wellness of the creatives that happens around. It's a 2-day conference. And then on Saturday, we have the music lineup. The music festival kickstarts. We've got a lineup of Shekinah, Questa. We also have Tebe, who will be receiving our Basha Uhuru Legacy Award. And then we'll also be having quite a lot. Yes, DJ Zintle as well is joining our stage.
I think I might just come through.
You should.
I love a good time, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what sort of conversations and themes will we hear in the masterclasses and dialogues that will be happening?
So in the dialogues, what we've focused on all these years, we've been focusing on the work, but also now it's time to focus on the wellness of the people that do the work. So in the creative industry, so we'll be talking about mental health for creatives, but also building your brand and also the wellness of the person that brings on about their talent as well. So on the first day, we'll also be talking to young entrepreneurs who also want to be in the eventing space, how to actually start building your own event, because that's what we're all about. Yeah.
And curating this program must have been very hard. I mean, considering all the talents that we have at Mzansi. So how was the selection process? How did it go?
It goes, we've got a wide team of, creatives that we work with, talented people that we focus on different themes every year. But also we also look out what is actually needed. What do the people want? What does our audience want? So we've got, with the help of our partners, Saul, Nando's, the Department of Arts and Culture, the Gauteng Tourism Authority, coming together and actually curating a program that fits the young people who are especially in the creative industries. So it's mostly is about that.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Now, as an initiative or an organization that has its ear on the ground, What can you say are some of the challenges that the youth in Gauteng are currently facing and tackling?
Specifically, our mandate as well as constitutional, specifically on this part, is to make sure that market access for young people who are entrepreneurs is done. So through our little programs, that's what we do. And the challenge that is facing young people is economic access, economic freedom. And with the work that we do, we need to try and make sure that the young people are part of the economy, driving the economy, starting with the creative sector as well, or how much they contribute to the economy with all of that. Yeah.
Now, beyond this festival, how does your organization further empower the youth of South Africa and Gauteng throughout the month, you know?
We are part of a lot of initiatives. I mean, right now, there's no other place to celebrate June 16th than Constitution Hill, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Pride Month as well. We're also doing initiatives around that. And also, we've got our very own creative hub. We work with young people in different programs that scale up programs, and also skills development in the creative sector. But also, we work with organizations that also help us build programs as well that align and help young people in different sectors around.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, if people want to know more about this event, where can they find you on social media?
Please check out our social media page at Visit Constitution Hill on Instagram and Constitution Hill on Facebook. As well, visit the website for Basha Uhuru, www.bashahurufestival.com, and get your tickets on Web Tickets.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You are doing such an amazing job empowering the youth. You know, all the best for your festival.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
People who found their passion at a young age are uncommon. While 7-year-old Hallelujah Khumalo is one young girl who seems to have figured out what she wants to do in life. She is the author of her published book titled Where I Fit In. We caught up with her earlier this week. Take a look.
Hi everyone, my name is Hallelujah Khumalo. I am 7 years old and I am the author and illustrator of Where I Fit.
She is not even a teenager yet, and she has already made history by becoming one of the youngest authors to publish a book in South Africa. The book is titled Where I Fit In. It highlights an important message teaching people that they can fit in everywhere and can be unique. Now let's meet the young girl doing great things.
I have a very, very big passion for drawing and writing. And if you look in my house, you'll actually find that there's a book with all of my drawings in it, from a jungle to car signs. I have 3 siblings. I'm the oldest.
When did you realize that you have a passion for writing, drawing? Talk about that.
Well, the reading passion started at 3.5. And I think the first book that I ever read was Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. My first book to write was called How Liesel and Harry Became Friends. It was about me and my friend Liesel. It was her birthday, and I was giving her a birthday present. And I gave her the book called How Harry and Liesel Became Friends. It's about how we became friends. I wrote and illustrated it, just like Where I Fit. And she absolutely loved it.
The second book that was launched this year, what is it?
Where I Fit. It's about a puzzle piece who can't figure out where she fits, but by the end of the book, she finds out that she fits with the world. She fits because she's unique. She fits with her family, and she fits because she is herself. She is. So it mustn't be the sort of thing where you where you see someone and it's like you're totally different from them, and you're like, oh, I don't like this. I need to change to be like them. And then you start shaving off your hair and dressing up differently. No, that's not what's meant to happen. If you see someone different, you think, oh, they look different. Good for them. I am going to stay myself, and then just be yourself.
Okay, so what? Did you see someone? Were you struggling to fit in before? Is that why you decided to write the book?
I decided to write the book because some people feel like they don't fit in with some places. So this book helps them figure out that they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't hide in the dark. They should come out. They should be themselves.
Incidentally, Hallelujah and myself decided to have lunch at a youth sports in the north of Joburg, which is specially curated for kids. So if you're wondering where to spend this long weekend with the youth, this might be it.
We found out that there was really a lack of a family restaurant where kids can come and play and eat extraordinary food, as well as the parents. Because I think there's a lot of venues in Johannesburg that are family restaurants, but the parents sacrifice their own enjoyment and their own meals, quality of meals, for the sake of their children having fun. At Joy Josie, it's extraordinary food for the adults and extraordinary food for the kids. And there's amazing activities here for the kids. We've got an action court. Well, number one, it's in a Johannesburg North garden. So I think Joburgers love being outside in the garden. We've got beautiful action court, tree house, children's amphitheater where we do children's shows, little splash park, library, toy store, arcades room, indoor gymnasium. So those are really the things to attract children. Your child is very, very safe once they're inside. We've actually got 14 childminders. We actually call them child reminders. To look after your children while you can enjoy a beautiful cocktail.
Always remember to never try too hard to fit in. You were always born to stand out.
Talk about youth excellence, right? Now, Youth Month activities continue as young people are celebrated and efforts are made to try and empower them. This time, the Joburg Art Gallery is hosting a winter school to encourage critical engagement through history, politics and decolonial practices. An outstanding contributor in the South African art sector will also be held at the event. Now, in studio to discuss the youth-driven event, we are joined by traditional art curator Bamanye Ngale. Thank you so much for joining us in Trendz Live. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm fine.
Now, I want to know, what is the work of an art curator?
So an art curator collects and preserves and also interprets all these cultural objects that the museum actually holds. So that's for people to actually be able to study some of the works that were created by all of these people, which are the artists themselves, and also to educate the general public at large.
Now, the winter school is aimed at addressing topics around politics and decolonial practices. Now, how exactly will you do this?
So we're looking at the collection that we have at the museum, and seeing how we can actually look at some of the works that Mambongi actually is focusing on as an educator herself. So we're going to be doing dialogues and also looking into how better to actually understand them, using our own backgrounds as well.
And how exactly will this winter school empower young lives? I mean, it is Youth Month after all.
Yeah, so most of the people that will be coming from an art background, or people that are actually just interested, maybe as they want to become art critics, they want to be art educators or curators themselves. So all of these people, we're looking into one person in particular who has done all of this work as an administrator at a very tumultuous time in South Africa, as well as a curator, and looking at some of the works that have been done by people that we would interpret as our mothers, fathers, and our grandparents as well.
Now, Mambongiwe Dlomo will be greatly honored at your event. Why did you choose her specifically?
So recently, in April 2023, She actually got the Order of Command, silver. And then, but that's not only the one thing that she has done. She has done many things throughout the country as an administrator, and also very instrumental in establishing various institutions like the Alexander Arts Center, as well as the Javet UP Center.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Now, what have been some of the outcomes of previous workshops that you did?
After the workshop, so some people are maybe trying to get like a degree, or maybe like they're doing their masters, and they want to better understand or speak in their own language. In their own language, in the sense that you keep looking at references that come from the same background or from Africans in particular, because art schools tend to focus mostly on Eurocentric art history and not as much about African history and African art.
Absolutely. Now, how do you think the youth is faring when it comes to politics in this country? You know, are they doing Hector Peterson well? You know, do you think they're making him proud?
Well, now we're more extroverted. You know, we speak more. We actually engage in some of the things that our parents had to go through in silence because of the regime that they were under. And now on our side, we're actually trying to, well, the youth is actually doing more of the talking back and the interpreting some of the things that can be violent, but not maybe in the sense of physical violence, but rather in how people use their words, how they address people, and also what type of information that you actually deserve or don't deserve because of where you come from or your skin tone. Yeah.
But you know, many young people would argue that young people are not given enough spaces in leadership, you know. So how do we change this as a country? How do we go forward?
We first start by listening to them. That's the first one. And also looking at what already that the youth is doing, because they are very much a part of the global community.
Yeah.
And they are engaging with all of these things through TikTok, through your Instagrams. And all of these things are not frivolous things. They can actually change a whole political landscape in a country, you know? And if we give them more opportunities to actually use what they already are interested in, because they spend so many hours on these social platforms. If we give them more opportunities that can actually tie into what they're already doing, not to try and shift them away from their own interests.
Absolutely. That's quite a great perspective, actually. Now, what is your inspiration, your message of inspiration for young people today?
To stay curious and read and learn more about South Africa. Africa, more than South Africa.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You are such a splendid example to look up to for our young people. Well done, and all the best for your future.
Thank you very much.
Now, Father's Day is just around the corner, and did you know that animals have characteristics and behavioral patterns that are very similar to us humans? Well, while you're contemplating on where to take your role models this Sunday, Trendz Live discovered an outing that can be enjoyed by the whole family. This to honor and celebrate the father figures in our lives. Trendz Didintle Mokaleti visited the lion and cheetah sanctuary in Pretoria to mingle with the hyenas, the cheetahs, the leopards, and of course, the king of the jungle.
Excitedly off on a game drive to see some of nature's most beautiful animals. You see, this sanctuary prides itself with its very edutaining game drives. On this slightly bumpy ride, some very interesting facts about the animals and their behavior are relayed by insightful rangers. Alfie the hyena was rather delighted to have visitors.
Hyenas, to me, they relate more to human beings, to that knowing very well they are not expert hunters. Whenever they're subjected to enough food, they eat what they can eat, what they cannot eat. They do not leave it on the ground. They have to pick up almost everything, find a secretive place where they dig and they hide the food for tomorrow.
Animals sometimes behave like people. What other traits do hyenas possess that are similar to humans?
They go and attack as a pack. Just like us human beings, should we want to bring more food, we have to go in numbers. So based on that behaviorism, hyenas are more close to human beings.
Lions are always fascinating to learn about. Known as the king of the jungle, it's a pleasure to meet Frick, the Mufasa of this pride. You'll be impressed by how lions have similar traits to us.
Though they are much smaller in size compared to the likes of elephants, rhinos, buffaloes, and hippopotamus, lions are not scared to go and attack those big animals. They can bring down anyone, and they are not scared of anyone on this planet Earth. They are not designed to do hunting. They are designed to protect females from other males. Just like us human beings, when it comes to the lions, they go extra mile protecting their females from other males by urinating on the ground. You see them using their hind legs to throw the urine all over as a way of what? Protecting their females. Not only females, but also their cubs. But male lions are very, very selfish. They can only protect cubs of their own bloodline. Female lions are expert hunters. When it comes to bring food on the table, it is the female's responsibility to go and hunt. Just like us human beings back home, it is the female's responsibility to bring food on the table. In mammals, females are so attracted to big males naturally. That's why strong males, if it is lions, they are characterized by having longer mane and also darker mane. That signifies strong genes.
With the help of the rangers, you can also meet Friendly, Bandit and Blaze. These cheetahs enjoy gently petting. Initially terrifying, this bonding session with cheetahs leaves one feeling cuddly and very courageous. What makes this sanctuary unique?
You get a chance to actually interact with one of the big cat species that we've got, known as your cheetahs. Now these guys are fully grown, 5 towards 6-year-old males, and they've been here since the beginning. They've formed such a bond with us staff here at Lion and Cheetah, where they are so used to human interaction, and that makes it special. A lot of people only see these animals on television, where they can now experience this at Lion and Cheetah up close.
What else is happening in the surrounding areas that makes this place so attractive?
So in the neighboring areas, we've got a lot of other activities, anything from ziplining, bow shooting, quad biking, horse riding, even hot air ballooning. We've got overnight accommodation available. We've got self-catering units, and then on top of the mountain is a place known as Sunset Boma. It is a luxury tented safari camp that can house 6 people, and you book out the whole facility.
A day well spent on a game drive, learning about some amazing characteristics of most of the animals that are here. Hey, I've never ever come this close to a cheetah before, but guess what? I even got the luxury of touching and petting one today. What a fantastic place to come and spend Father's Day.
We can safely say that Amapiano is the soundtrack of the youth. The entire genre has come and truly taken over the airwaves, dance floors, and any vibe in Mzansi. This sound has not only trailed through Africa, but it has firmly positioned an undeniable space across the world. One of the most influential voices of this genre, Thulani Magudusa, has gone on to create the first Amapiano Africa Summit to highlight the important topics that fuel the genre. And he joins us now in studio. How are you, Thulani?
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
I'm all right.
Now tell us, who is Thulani Way? What does that mean?
Oh, it's like a general grinder from the ground. Most of the kids are in the streets. They call me my way. I do it my way mostly. I do it with or without you most of the time. So it happens when you're even not there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Now, why are you so passionate about the South African music industry, especially Amapiano?
I feel like Amapiano is no longer about the genre anymore. It's no longer about the music. It's only a source of income right now. Most of the kids from the hood, from township, are growing up from this thing, are getting empowerment, are traveling the world at a young age, pushing the flag of Amapiano and pushing the flag of entertainment, I say. So we're trying to make sure every time everyone being recognized at this time.
All right. Now, what's going to be happening at the summit? Tell us what's going to be happening there.
We're going to be giving out most of the knowledge, giving out most of the business music skills about what it is being in the music industry. Going to have like different people talking about the business, the royalties, and also about like traveling, promo of being in the music space.
Now, revolutionization of Amapiano, rather. What exactly will be happening around workshops, in those workshops, around those conversations?
There's like different challenges being in the space of Amapiano.
Yeah.
Most of the kids are getting challenges in terms of like applying for visas. We're going to be having a talk regarding the mental health for artists. We're going to be talking about the trade, most of the going internationally, and also having like a promo plan with your management.
No. Now, it's been an exciting week for the African Sounds with the Grammy categories announcements.
Oh, yes.
What's your take on that?
I feel like it's time for like brands and also like company corporates to come with us, to work with us, and also like to help us to be at the Grammys, to also like brands to work with artists. Artists need to start to know the value of working with brands. Also, like it's also being a recognition internationally.
Yeah.
Not only like in Africa, but like internationally, all artists are being like pushing Amapiano most of the time. Now it's time for us to win the Grammy as well.
Absolutely, we deserve a Grammy.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes,
and
yes.
that takes me to my next question. South African artists, we've seen them dominating international stages.
Yes.
What would you say is the global appetite for the sound of Amapiano?
Oh, everybody's hungry. Is angry for it. Like Sharons are angry for it. Like Ghana, other countries are doing their own Amapiano. So like it's changing the world most of the time. They love it. Like they love it internationally. I will never lie to myself to say like they don't love it. The Amapiano is growing every day.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to jump on Amapiano.
Now let's dial it back to the youth, because of course we are celebrating Youth Month and Youth Day today.
Yes,
you know, how does the sound of Amapiano uplift youth?
I feel like it's empowerment most of the time. Most of the kids are being superstars at a young age. Most of the kids at the townships, they're traveling, as I said. Like imagine from grade 10, most of them.
Yeah.
They're traveling the world. So like doing the summit, it's also like helping the kids to know more about the knowledge, not to drop out the school.
Absolutely. And my follow-up question to that has to be, how do we push more female Amapiano artists in and around South Africa?
I could say most of the artists, for female artists, they need to know to drop music, they need to know how to collaborate with others, they need to mostly like be in a studio, they need to know how to producers. We need to have only Amapiano producers from the female side.
Oh, wow. Okay, now what is the future sound of Amapiano? Where is it going?
For me, I could say in the next coming 3 years, we're going to see most of the international acts, specifically like there's a guy called Asake from Nigeria.
Yeah.
The most going to be collaborating, like artists are going to collaborate with international acts, are going to collaborate with like almost like hip-hop artists in the USA States. They're also playing Amapiano lately, so we're going to see Amapiano being on the Billboard.
All right.
Global Billboards taking place number 10, number 5, somewhere there in the world. Like we're going there internationally.
Well, you've predicted that this is going to be the case in 3 years' time. But let's talk about 10 years' time. You know, how do we keep Amapiano relevant in 10 years, in 20 years?
I think like there's going to be different sound already. There's going to be a tag. There's going to be different space. It's going to be played in Ibiza. It's going to be played in around. Already it's taking place in UK, Europe. But like we're about to shut down China. It's going to Asia now. So
China?
Like, yes. There's a piano in China. And there's also a piano in Mexico. We're going to see ourselves playing around the world. Brazil, like it's going to be crazy. I could say like the world's going to be recognizing piano more than everything like being recognized right now.
Oh, wow. So it's going to the top.
Yes.
And basically it's going to stay relevant for a very long time to come.
It's going to be amazing for us to watch. Just watch the space.
Oh.
Piano is growing. It's more than 8 years now. We're turning 10 years in 2 years' time.
Oh, that's awesome. And thank you so much for all the contribution that you personally are doing to the industry.
Thank you so much.
Right, and all the best for your future.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, is this year's winter making you reconsider nice times in the streets? If so, then maybe this next feature will convince you to rock your best winter outfits and hit the town. Leisure and lifestyle experiences in Johannesburg hardly disappoint. And Selepe Maifadi heard about the newest winter bar in town and she had to check it out. So let's see what that's all about.
As temperatures keep dropping, you would think that we would stay indoors, right? Well, in the city that never sleeps, we will find ways to keeping warm and still have a good vibe regardless of the season.
Hey, what's up, but Trendy? I know you guys like things as much as I do. And of course, I don't want you to miss out on having a good time this winter. So we thought, you know what, let's go check out something very new. It's a whole winter bar situation right here in the West Cliff. So you definitely don't want to miss it. It's all things nice, all things warm, boozy, something for you to enjoy.
What does an ideal afternoon look like for you? Do picturesque views and fine dining experiences come to mind?
The Preview Winter Bar at Four Seasons Hotel the West Cliff is a new concept for us, probably for the whole of Joburg. The city is beautiful. It's beautiful in summer, even as the trees start to turn brown in winter. It gives you a different kind of beauty. But it is not as pleasant to sit out on our terrace and look out at the view during the colder winter months. So we decided to bring that experience indoors and provide not only a warmer, more cozy environment for people looking for something to do in the sort of twilight hours of the afternoon or early evening, but then to also match it together with equally warm and comforting drinks. So we've got a custom menu of winter warmer drinks, which we then also match together with a new tapas style menu. Our chefs have done a great job and they have been renowned in the city for quite some time. Under exec chef, Chef Daniel Payne and Chef Ndeleka Tunzi. We gave them this task of having to create a nice winter tapas style menu, and they came back, they really delivered. We've got some nice pulled pork tacos on there, we've got bao buns, we've got some fish items, there's one or two vegetarian items as well.
This year's winter feels different, so much so that it has inspired a new trend coming from colder places around the world.
We're lucky we can look to Europe and we say, well, you know, over Christmas time in Europe when it's very cold, glühwein's a popular drink, so we've got glühwein there. A lot of our guests understand and know what that is, so that's a warm mulled wine. And then also, again, if you've been to Europe over the winter months, it's, you know, to get a nice rich dark hot chocolate, we thought we would add to it by adding some Frangelico and Kahlua to the mix. Comes with cookies and marshmallows. It's the kind of perfect nightcap, you know, after a meal, if you're just looking to ease the evening off, or if you're looking to start the evening out, there's a great spiced Russian, which is, you know, has a beautiful caramel covered rim with some rums and some milk. That's a bit more of a colder drink. So what we have tried to create is a beverage selection of signature beverages. There are about 6. There's a traditional Irish coffee on there as well, that matches very well with the tapas style lunch, and we try not to make it too heavy, so that if this is a pre-dinner, you can still enjoy your drinks before you go down to dinner, or if it's post-dinner, you've just had a big meal, so you can come up here and have a nice end to your evening.
Every corner in Jozi has a restaurant, a good sign that the hospitality industry in Mzansi is creating more experiences for customers. Now, we no longer just go with what's great on the menu, we also pick the spot based on how Instagrammable the place is. So a great view will most certainly entice many restaurant goers.
We're proud that we've obviously got the view perched high up on the West Cliff Hill, and the Preview Bar over here is a great place because we've got these floor-to-ceiling windows that just, you know, if it's a little bit warmer, we can open up the windows or close them to keep it cooler, but you just get these expansive views out over Johannesburg Zoo with the Rosebank and Sandton skylines in the background, or the city out to the right. And while we don't get a direct sundown over here, all of this area right around us turns this beautiful shade of pink and orange in the evenings, which is just magical.
Who doesn't like a magical evening in winter? Well, there you have it, but Trendy. Here's what you can do. Go stay warm. See ya on the flip side.
Whilst we may be a little bit biased, skiing is an excellent sport to learn. With incredible health benefits and opportunities for social interaction, we think the sport has it all. However, show producer Asanda Zondi thinks it can feel a little intimidating for those who've never skied before. So if you're a novice to this activity and you're wondering if skiing is hard to learn, don't you worry, we've got you covered.
Hello Trenders, I am coming to you live from Switzerland and this is my first ski trip. I'm joking, I'm just manifesting. However, I will be teaching you how to ski. So, if you are planning that trip to Lesotho, because we are approaching that month, Angitibati between May and August, it's the perfect time to go to Lesotho and try skiing. Even if it's for the first time, you don't have to go there and embarrass yourself. So here on Trendz Live, we are going to help you get prepared for your first trip. Apparently, it's very difficult skiing for the first time. I do not know. I'm gonna learn today. I am at the Runbreak ski deck where I'm going to be getting my first lesson. So stay with us to find out more and learn about skiing. One of the instructors here is joining me, Ubudluandile, to tell us more about the ski experience. Ubudluandile, welcome to Trendz.
Thank you very much.
So I just want to establish the difference between skiing and snowboarding. What is the difference?
When you're snowboarding, you're on one piece of wood, so it's like your feet are fastened to one board. Whereas with skiing, your feet can move independently, although you'd only be skiing along the ground.
How should I dress up for a ski experience?
For skiing, you've got 3 layers mainly. You've got your base layer, then you've got your middle layer, and then your shell, right? So base layer is typically thermals made of polyester, right? Because that's the breathable material. Then you get your ski shirt, right? Which is also made of the same material these days. And then you get your shell, which is your jacket, right? And normally you'll be skiing in those 3 layers.
Do I have to be like really fit? Should I be someone who's into sports? Just take me through that, please.
Well, anyone can ski kind of as much as anyone can, let's say, ride a bicycle, right? You just need to learn how, right? Once you get the basics right, then you can go skiing. Everyone will go at a different pace, but everyone can ski.
What is the right age to start skiing?
Well, I'd say from about 5 years old, kids can start skiing. Earlier than that, it's what I've heard from parents is that younger kids tend to forget the next time you go skiing.
Step by step. Now I'm all dressed up, I'm ready for my lesson. What happens when you start skiing?
The first thing to get right is getting around in the actual ski boots, right? Accidents happen in ski boots as well, off the slope. Not even with skis on. And then the next thing will be getting to the basic position for skiing, right? So the important thing to get right is the posture. When you get your posture right, then your weight placement automatically falls in line, right? Mm-hmm. And then the next thing after that will be getting the snow plow right. So snow plowing is how you start skiing initially to go at a controlled speed, so that you're not going fast. Initially, you'll be doing everything in the snow plow. And then the next thing after that will be how to turn. So when you're making your turns, again, it's about your shape. And if the posture is right, if the shape is right going into the turn, then your weight placement tends to fall in line.
Okay. How many lessons do I need to take?
For the local winter season, we offer a 4-lesson, a short course. And then some people would feel that they need 1 or 2 more, but for most people, that's kind of good enough for a 3-4 day trip locally, right? And you just get the basics. You grow your confidence, you improve your ski fitness, right? And actually, by the time you get there, you know how to ski. You just have to adapt to the new surface now.
And that was the best that I could do for today. Please bear with me. It was only my first lesson. Guys, I really tried. What an extreme sport. So for those of you who are embarking or going on a ski trip, good luck. And please take those lessons.
Well done, Asanda. Better luck next time. Goodbyes are never easy, but I have to love and leave you to enjoy the rest of your Youth Day. And happy Father's Day for this weekend to all the dads and father figures. You are truly appreciated. We'll be back next week, Friday at 8 p.m. Connect with us on Twitter at Trendz on SABC. Until then, stay warm and God bless.